South Coast College and Mark Peacock have been doing this for a few weeks now. This is our legal networking forum, and we're really excited to have Isaiah and Stephanie chat with us and share what they've come across and some information about, how to come through this COVID times.
Okay, so I just want to primarily, I wanted to catch everyone up just from our perspective. Obviously, we only have a small slice of depot land, but I feel like we kind of have a finger on the pulse as far as the client side, which I know a lot of reporters are wanting to know. By the way, I should mention that I'm primarily gearing this toward reporters, since I think most of our audience is reporters. So we're trying to drum up as much business as we can for you, for us, for everyone's benefit.
We are trying so hard to get attorneys to use this new system and feature, the online platforms and whatnot. It's just a hard thing for us right now. We're all frustrated.
Try to keep your skills up during this time. Get your practicing in now and get back up to speed if you've been out of practice. It's very, very important. Another tip is I keep my video on so they know I'm there. A great internet connection is the best thing that you can have. So I do like to do a read on, and this is what I use. Some people use more complicated, quoting the actual code language or the actual citation, but I just like to summarize it. When I start to get a little antsy about how long everything is taking, I just think of the commute time that was saved. Another thing that's a little bit, can be actually easier with remote versus in person, or it can be more complicated, is exhibits. Sometimes they'll just say, oh yeah, turn to the email or turn to that picture, and they just don't actually give a very good description on the record, and that makes my life really challenging after, because I don't want to mark the wrong thing. So I tell them in the very beginning, you need to at least call it by its title, what it's saved under, or give a very good description or Bates numbers or something. That has helped a lot.
The first time you do a Zoom depo, you stumble through it. Depositions for attorneys are becoming a different vehicle.
Hopefully, the courts are really the biggest factor in all of this, I think, going back to normal.
One best practice for in-person, when you go back, sometimes law firms or these premier locations, they won't serve coffee anymore or serve water anymore. So make sure you're prepared with sustenance. I think that what's going to be key coming up, there needs to be a lot of communication. For the attorney's setting, I think it would be helpful to know from them if everyone intends to wear masks, the sterility of everything, and trying to be as conscientious of that as possible, because so that there are no surprises.
If you're working for an agency and you're concerned at all about, every business should have a policy or procedure out in public. You can ask for those sort of procedures, and you're uncomfortable potentially, if the agency has it set up, being in an adjoining office space with a live video feed.
So I've gone out on a couple jobs now where the entrance of the building says you have to wear a mask, this and that. I'm told by the agency there will be masks required, but once I'm there, nobody's wearing them. I was in a small room yesterday and I was the only one wearing the mask. The court reporter had it under her nose.
Everybody should be sensitive to everybody's sensibilities. So I would be encouraging you to be upfront about it.
Thank you.
I think it is going to be even busier than it was before. But I can tell you there's going to be an increase in litigation because of COVID, because of all the layoffs. And not to mention, we were already on track for a record month in March before it just stopped. So I'm absolutely confident that things will continue the way they were and be very, very, very busy.
Love these programs, and I learn so much each and every week. So please keep them going.